Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of DGS2 Case 3, the last episode for this thing, because I believe this is actually the last thing we need to present or choice right here before we actually see the final conclusion of this, so let's get on to it. So, what was the thing again? The word that indicates a possible reason for Dr. Sapph to have murdered Mr. Kingsley is an iron mask, lancets, or screwdriver. Lancets in the middle. Lancets. Lancets? Oh yeah! Snooping around her office proved to be very helpful here. It looks like Dr. Sapph understands what I'm talking about. Well, It happened when we visited Dr. Sapp's office yesterday. Visited. This looks like a pretty thick ledger. It seems to be a bank ledger. It's the remittance record for the Scientific Investigation Unit. Huh? What's wrong? Various surgical tools and pharmaceuticals are purchased each month, but there's something here that just doesn't add up. Doesn't add up? They're purchasing 500 lancets a month. $500 a month! At first we wondered what they were being used for, but the important point isn't what the lancers were used for. It's the fact that the money used to buy them was remitted each month from the bank. Blackmail was an important source of income for Mr. Kingsley's organization. As for where the Scientific Investigation Unit's funds were going, it would be incredibly easy to find out. Mr. Kingsley wrote this article 10 years ago, back when he was still a journalist. Maybe while he was chasing the story, he came upon it. A deadly secret that he's been able to use to blackmail Dr. Sapph for 10 years. Holy crap, this guy's dangerous. A deadly? No, you can't mean. I don't know what happened on the night of the execution 10 years ago, but you simply couldn't let such a perfect chance pass you by. It wasn't because you were coerced. You clearly, of your own free will, stabbed Mr. Kingsley in the chest with a screwdriver. To silence the blackmailer who knew about your deadly secret forever. You lot'll never understand what we've spent these last 10 years protecting. Maybe y'all need to do your job right so we don't have to hold all these secrets. But that's being idealistic. And optimistic. There's a darkness that lurks beneath London, as Sherlock Holmes says. As long as that device no longer exists due to the explosion, you refuse to talk, the truth behind this case will remain shrouded in darkness. Which case? It will be possible for Courtney Sapph to run from her crime. Please, confess everything and tell us the truth. "10 years ago, you told the truth and had your brilliant future stolen from you as a result. I can certainly understand the intense anger you must feel because of that. However, don't you think it's about time you put an end to your fate of being toyed with by the truth?"
Hyper-electric teleportation, my arse. There's nothing I hate more than half-cocked pseudoscientists. They don't even realize that they have no talent, because they're pseudoscientists. Yet they believe in the talent they don't even have and cling to impossible dreams. They ramble on proudly about their theories, eyes sparkling with hope. No matter how I try, I just can't stand people like that.
They're using the reminiscence song that was in Case 5 of DGS 1. I think it's actually kind of fitting, considering, you know, Ed Benedict kind of came from a really bad situation too, and kind of committed something terrible. Well, at least in Aeon's Drake, he didn't kill anyone. But I think that's fitting that he has this reminiscence. Witness.
I was quite proud of that illusion. Quite a memorable show, wasn't it?
So you admit it then, right? That device was just a stage prop intended to kill the victim.
Yes, I admit it. I did it all to get revenge.
Revenge against Mr. Kingsley, who stole your future 10 years ago. But your revenge didn't stop there. By which you mean the wax figure, don't you? Prisoner who rose again from the dead in Lowgate Cemetery 10 years ago. If that had really happened. Then naturally, Scotland Yard couldn't have admitted that was true. Even if that meant that a promising young scientist had to have his future crushed. That's why you had to kidnap that wax figure. To get revenge on Scotland Yard. And Dr. Sith.
One year ago, Kingsley just showed up at my factory, as if fate were mocking me. He'd forgotten about me, and came to me with engineering work. That's when I noticed an interesting article in the paper he'd brought with him. That the coroner who'd been in charge of that death certificate had been appointed head of the Scientific Investigation Unit. When I learned that, my plan began to take shape.
My goodness.
I used the plot of the man who'd stolen my future in order to get my revenge, and I manipulated the organization known as Scotland Yard into cooperating with me. I wanted them to taste the same humiliation they subjected me to.
Revenge against those who'd stolen your future. I agree that no one has the right to steal another person's future. But you yourself stole the future of a certain someone with this murder.
Huh?
All Dr. Durpor wanted was to prove his theory. Not only did you use him, but you branded him with the label of a hack scientist. You may have had your own future stolen by someone, but you did the very same thing to someone else. Don't forget that. Lord Van Zeeks, where is Dr. Sith? Was retained as the papers for her immediate arrest are processed. She will stand her own trial with Enoch Drebber at a later date. How terribly unfortunate. As someone who's familiar with her many years of achievements, this is certainly a difficult pill to swallow. However, that's not relevant now. Defendant.
Yes!
The court had numerous suspicions about what might have been going on behind the scene of that experiment. But those have now all been lifted. It's been a long trial, but your innocence has been proven at last.
This trial has proven one thing to me with dreadful clarity. That this man before you, no, more like me of all people, have been egotistical and selfish, and most of all, a fool.
Dr. Dirtpour.
I've only ever really thought of my research until now. Though I have very limited ability, I convinced myself that I was capable. But in reality, I was just making other people unhappy. Other people with far more talent than me.
You're wrong, defendant.
Huh?
The fact that that man led the life he did, and this happened as a result, was nothing more than chance. It had nothing to do with you. Prosecutor Van Zeeks. That man was laughing at you a moment ago for being a no-talent hack. But he has no idea. He has no idea that you're burning your candle on both ends, confronting what you believe in. No one is qualified to laugh at something like that.
Thanks, Baroque.
Now then, jurors.
Yes, Your Honor.
The court is awaiting your votes of not guilty. I trust there are no objections.
No, of course not.
Nor from me.
This has given me a lot to think about.
Scientific thinking is everything.
Huh? What? What's going on? Is it over already?
What's going to happen to you, Scotland Yard?
Very well. In that case, the final verdict shall now be handed down. Not guilty! Confetti! Fireworks! What an adventure, and what a case. Holy crap, it's only case 3, too. My dog's getting grumpy. Whoops, sorry, we're... Now then, today's trial is hereby adjourned. Sorry, I went a little too far in the script, like, wait a minute, the judge is still talking. Oops. And so, that long trial finally came to an end. Same day, 4:33 p.m., the Old Bailey Defendants Lobby. Well done in there, Dr. Dirtpour.
Allow me to offer my heartfelt congratulations, Dirtpour-sama.
Dr. Dirtpour-sama. Ah.
Mr. Naruhodō, Miss Susato. I'm so grateful to both of you. I don't know how I can show you how thankful I am.
You were just an innocent bystander who got dragged into this incident. I'm just glad we were able to prove that.
If only I could receive that research assistant funding right this instant. I feel like giving every last penny of it to you.
Oh, well, we're exchange students after all.
Please, there's no need to worry about paying us back.
Aha! At least let me give you this. It's got my thesis statement on it.
Thank you very much. If you insist then.
By the way, Dirtpour-sama, what do you plan to do now?
Oh, I was wondering that myself. After all, my theory was blasted to bits. Well, this is my first time being back in London in a long time, so I'm thinking of taking a bit of a holiday here. I might as well take in the sights of the London World Fair and figure out what I'm going to do from now on.
I see. That sounds like a wonderful idea.
I can't allow that. Oh, hello! Prosecutor Van Zeeks, what are you doing here?
Baroque.
Sorry, Benjamin, for what you had to go through.
Well, if I'm being honest, I was pretty terrified. The way you came after me with that demonic expression on your face was really something.
You're one of the few people I can call a friend. I couldn't have entrusted your case to any other prosecutor, or any other defense attorney. What? I'm sorry, say that again? Huh? Any other defense attorney?
I believe that you did what you did with my best interests at heart. Alright, since I have time now, how about showing me around London a little? We have a lot of catching up to do, not having seen each other since we graduated from uni.
Listen to me, Benjamin. You'll be released in a few days, and when that happens, you've got to walk yourself straight to Dover Harbor. I'll accompany you.
Huh?
You can board a ship to take you back to Germany from there. I've already prepared your passport and take it.
Whoa! Slow down there! This is my chance to see the sights of the London's World Fair!
You can't. Forget about sightseeing, Benjamin.
Ooh. Sometimes the way you look at me makes me wonder if we're friends at all.
Prosecutor Van Zeeks. What's this all about all of a sudden? It's necessary.
I think I have an inkling now.
Susato-san?
I heard it from Iris-sama that when you two met him in this office 2 days ago, and Sik-sama expressed interest in Soseki-sama's well-being.
Yes, I remember. I thought, wow, I guess he's a nicer guy than I thought.
What's important is the fact that Soseki-sama is still alive, even though it's been more than 6 months since the trial were prosecuted by the Grim Reaper.
No way. Does that mean that the Grim Reaper's reach doesn't extend overseas? The Grim Reaper's judgment usually comes anywhere from a few days to a few months after the target is released from custody. That's been the uniform rule so far.
Oseki-sama and Gina-sama have been the exceptions. They're currently still alive and well.
Precisely. If they're innocent, death doesn't come for them. Perhaps that's the Grim Reaper's rule. But this time, it's my friend that's involved, so I'd like to take every precaution.
Baroque.
You need to leave Great Britain at once, just like that mustached Japanese man did. That's why I need to send this man back to Germany as soon as possible. Prosecutor Van Zieks. He's talking about his best friend like he's a piece of luggage or something, though. That's really funny coming from Naruhodō, of all people.
So then, that's been your intention from the start, Van Zieks-sama.
I can't understand this prosecutor sometimes. He's known as the Grim Reaper, a prosecutor who pursues defendants mercilessly, and yet... Let's go, Benjamin. We need to get you back to the detention center.
Yeah, alright. In that case, Mr. Naruhodō. Thank you so much for all your help.
It was a pleasure to meet you too, Dr. Dirtpour.
Please, take care of yourself, Dr. Dirtpour-sama.
When things calm down, you're perfectly welcome to come visit me in Germany. Well, I'll be going now.
Later, Dirtpour. It was nice meeting ya. One more thing, Japanese boy. Yes? He's still here? There's something I'd like to talk to you about, if you have a moment. Oh? Something you want to talk to me about? I'll be waiting in the courtroom in 10 minutes. Wonder why I suddenly get the feeling there's an even heavier weight on Prosecutor Van Zieks' shoulders than usual all of a sudden. Prosecutor Baroque Van Zieks. What could he possibly want to talk to me about? Guess the only way to find out is to head to the courtroom. Huh? I'm probably gonna let this play out and just outro it, because something is gonna happen. There's going to be something of a cutscene that's gonna happen here, I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna let it just play out, and we're just gonna outro here. And we'll hit up case 4, you know, when we get around to it. It's gonna be a doozy. Same day, 4:58 p.m., the Old Bailey Supreme Court. Are you proud of yourselves, saving one ignorant scientist?
Yes, sir. Managing to get a not guilty verdict for my client. He was a huge weight off my shoulders.
By the way, why do you think I hate the Japanese?
First, I thought you just didn't like me personally. An exchange student who didn't know his place from some random Far Eastern nation called Japan.
But I don't think that anymore. You know the Japanese well. There must have been something decisive that caused you to start hating us. Why don't you tell me about it, Prosecutor Van Zieks? It's because of the professor. Ooh, what is this track? I never expected to hear his name again in this trial of all places.
The serial killer who took your elder brother's life.
Grimmett Van Zieks. 16 years ago, I was still a lad in my teens. My brother was already the High Prosecutor at the time, and a central figure in the English legal system. Grimmett Van Zieks was my role model, someone I deeply admired. Grimmett was also working hard on creating an international legal system. There were a lot of exchange programs with various countries for research students in an effort to gather knowledge and opinions. Among those research students were 3 legal exchange students from your homeland, the Great Japanese Empire, visiting London.
It was 16 years ago. Then perhaps one of them was my father.
Forensic pathologist Dr. Mikotoba. Of course, I remember him.
Eh?
At the time, I, though still a boy, was doing my training and observation at the prosecutor's office. And one day, Grimmett introduced me to the 3 Japanese exchange students.
I see. So you met my father.
They were polite and quiet and thorough in their work. Incredibly meticulous. That was my younger self's first encounter with Oriental spiritual values, and it left a deep impression on me. Then, 6 years later, a certain incident occurred. Little progress with the investigation. No suspects arrested, and the number of victims just kept growing. Then, my brother became the final victim, and the incident came to an end.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
My brother had always possessed the resolution to die for the sake of justice, if need be. That's why. Fighting the serial killer to the bitter end, and losing his life in the process, might have been a long-cherished ambition for him. For me at the time, I felt as though I'd been tossed into the deepest depths of despair. And when I found out who the serial killer really was, the answer to the mystery of why he'd managed to evade capture for so long suddenly became clear. He'd been hiding right under our noses all along.
Under your noses?
10 years ago, the Great British Empire and the Great Japanese Empire had a very strange relationship.
Is that because they were negotiating a new treaty?
Precisely. We entered into the Anglo-Japanese Nautical Peace Treaty. And the leaders of both nations were right in the midst of intense political negotiations. That's why the serial killer's trial had to be conducted in utmost secrecy. The citizens of Great Britain were to find out his identity. England and Japan would have been far from forming an alliance. In fact, it was possible it could have caused a war.
Huh? What do you mean, a war between Japan and England? You don't mean that the professor was...
Today, 審理が終わった時が来た。そう思った。貴公たちがこの恐るべき殺人鬼と対面する時がな。え？あの老人形の館の女主人から仮面の鍵を借り受けた。その目でしかと確かめるがいい。10年前の真実。
これがプロフェッサーの正体。
その通り。
今まで考えたこともありませんでした。英国犯罪史上最悪の事件、その殺人鬼の正体が日本人だったなんて。
待ってください。この面影、どこかで見たことがある、そんな気がいたします。
父上。麻生木。僕の親友麻生木一馬。1年の時を経て今、全ての記憶を取り戻して目の前に立っていた。
なるほど。
久しぶりだな、友よ。
カズマ様。
味方は法務女子。長い間ご苦労だった。礼を言う。私の代わりに友をここに導いてくれた。
カズマ様。
やっぱり生きていたんだな、麻生木。
貴様にも礼を言わねばならない。何しろそいつを守ってくれたのだからな。
麻生木の家に代々伝わる名刀カルマ。日本を出発するとき、あいつが身に帯びていた。日本人の魂であり、いつもそばに置いておきたいと。そしてあの事件が起こって、僕は須里さんからこの刀を託されたんだ。お前が残した思いとともに。こいつがあると、いつもお前が見守ってくれている気がしていた。
やっとたどり着きました、父上。
父上、まさかお前知っていたのか。 その面影だけど、とても信じられない。殺人鬼の正体が麻生木一馬の父だったなんて。
一馬様。
なるほど。貴様と積もる話はあるが、今はその時ではない。また会おう。
麻生木一馬は僕たちを残して法廷から出て行った。
Y'all still with me? So that was the orphan of the man who stole Krimit's life.
Asogi Kazuma, my best friend.
Holy shit, it's been so long since I've actually said that name. I say that, but it's only been like a couple videos, right? When Lord Vortex brought him to me 3 months ago, I had a sort of premonition that I knew him somehow.
I unearthed with Lord Vortex. Make Asogi, who lost his memories, into an apprentice.
Even after the handing down of the verdict, even though he was executed, the case isn't over. That's what it means. Whoa, what happened to the sound? Ah! Sorry, I don't know what happened there. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks for coming to listen.
Years ago, my grandmother took me to the railway station to pick up my father, just returned home. For me, that was my first time ever laying eyes on my father.
Sato-san averted her eyes sadly, began to talk quietly about what had happened at that time.
One day, not long after I had just started getting accustomed to living with my father, I was told something in my father's study. One of his friends had passed away due to an illness back in London. That good friend had a child of his own, a boy 7 years older than me. In order to fulfill a promise to the father who had passed away in London, that boy was going to study to become a defense attorney. I qualifications as a legal aid in order to assist him. That's right. That boy's name was Asogi Kazuma. That was how Kazuma-sama and I met.
親友は束の間僕たちの前に姿を現して再び消えた。そしてその瞬間、止まっていた時は動き出す。巨大な運命の車輪が回り始める。きしむような音を聞いた気がした。それは確かに何かが始まり、何かが終わるきっかけだった。